I know you haven't felt like it in a while, but you're valuable. You let someone outside your skin tell it, and your energy's not worth the flesh it's trapped in. Your inner beauty will never be worth more than what you have on, and if you speak your mind, your character just might get killed for it. You see, once upon a time, people just used to convince themselves of this army of imaginary haters they had. But self-love is mainstream now, where accountability gets you a cold shoulder or treated as if you're the problem. And most of the times, you won't even know someone has a problem till you bring up a problem. That's when anything considering you is being written off as being too much, when at the very least, all you wanted was not to be taken for granted. On top of that, they're gonna have the balls to tell you that you didn't do or say what you know you did or said, or try to convince you that you didn't see or hear what you know you saw or heard. A 2-for-1 shot to your self-worth, because you know they don't owe you anything, but you would have not done the same to them. Could have came clean about it a handful of times, but decided to keep selling you dreams from the clearance rack. And if you have the nerve to try to cost more than the bare minimum, they'll find a way to make it seem as if your disappointment was a suicide. Let me tell you something most of you already know, but most of you really don't know. Because most people will tell you most people ain't shit, but most people aren't doing the work. So chances are, you are the work. That's why some try to understand and work things out with you, while others need to have things their way, because they rather you change than them have to grow. Most issues we have with people isn't even about right or wrong, it's about understanding. But when someone is so little of themselves, they can't afford to compromise. Let me tell you something most of you already know, but most of you aren't really aware of. Because most people will tell you most people don't really care, but most people also don't care to be great. So stop taking things so personal. Do you have any idea how many people are settled where they know they could do better? Do you have any idea how many people don't even know they could do better? People take themselves for granted every day, yet you had it in your head that they will have good intentions for you when they clearly don't have it for themselves. You see, it's much easier for someone to take you for granted than it is to be genuine. Because being genuine requires effort. So you get the bullshit because they're full of shit from all they neglect or settle for in their life. Now everything is your fault. You're in a blame game tug of war with someone who's at war with themselves. Most times knowing damn well they're wrong, but you're not worth them being real with themselves. So under the bus you go. A lot of you are infested with these types of people in relationships, in your circle, in your family, wasting up to years maintaining connections where if you stop trying, everything crashes like Jenga. Others make it okay for themselves to use people however they want, then cry wolf or cry self-love if you press the issue to avoid accountability. And like I said before, people don't owe you anything, but if you would have not done the same to them, understand that you're the valuable one no matter how much they destroy you to themselves while glorifying themselves. People are so pretentious nowadays that they treat you how they project themselves and not like who they truly are. So they're never really gonna understand the value of who they're taking for granted until they try to replace your good intentions and run into themselves or worse. And like I said before, most people aren't doing the work, which is why doing the work is more important than ever. Because it's the only way you can make sure you end up with better while getting better, and they end up with worse in a shitty ass routine. One love.